Yo, what is up, guys? It's Bruin Steel here, and welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel, and I am once joined by Canadian Yorker. How's it going tonight?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good, good. And today is that time to do our predictions for another pay per view. This Saturday is going to be Survivor Series War Games. And so far, there are 5 match cards, and we don't know if there's going to be any more matches to be announced. We have to see if Friday we have to see if Friday there's another match announced. If so, we will give our predictions on the Friday Night SmackDown broadcast. And so today we are recapping the Survivor Series War Game. So let's get to it. I'm gonna leave the 2 War Game matches till the end. So right now we can talk about the regular matches. So I'm just gonna go down the list. So the first match is for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, which Gunther holds, and he'll be defending it against The Miz. So I'm gonna let you. We're gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna let Canadian Yorker go this time. Usually during our prediction videos, I usually tell my prediction who's gonna win, and then I will give it to the floor to Canadian Yorker. But let's change it up a little bit. I'm gonna give Canadian Yorker the floor first before I give my prediction. So. Canadian Yorker, the first match, your prediction. Gunther defending the Intercontinental title against The Miz. What are your predictions?
I believe, this is even. This is pretty much even straight down that middle. Gunther can win at the same time. The Miz can win and get the Intercontinental Championship. So, and Gunther can retain his Intercontinental Championship. So, unless there's some sort of outside interference that's in the way of Gunther winning his Intercontinental Championship. So, I think I'm definitely leaning on Gunther's side for Gunther to win Intercontinental Championship. And the reason why is because Gunther has definitely showed his skill set. He's a pretty versatile wrestler. He's pretty um, unique. He has a variety of moves that he can use to punish you. And his most deadly move is the chop. His chop is deadly. It's very dangerous. Just as dangerous as the Big Show. The Big Show is chopped, but he uses the chop in a way to really take the wind out of you and mess you up and work you down. Um, his style really reminds me of. It's not the same thing, but his style is to wear you out, wear you down, puts you out of your misery. You know, just beats you down into submission. And on top of that, he's younger than the Miz. The Miz, you know, he's still showing he's still got it. He can definitely pull off wins. Um, Rey Mysterio was able to do it against Aries Spears, against Austin Theory. Sorry, he was able to do it against Austin Theory. He was able to pull off a win and win against Austin Theory using his experience. The Miz can also do that, but this situation seems a lot like a Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman type of situation where Muhammad Ali have to use his head instead of using. He can't physically overpower the Miz. I'm sorry, the Miz can't physically overpower Gunther, who is stronger and faster and more. He just punishes you. Um, but I'm really going leaning on with Gunther to retain his title against the Miz. So, and I really think that this match should be more than just the very start. Should be more important than just being the first match that starts off that starts off this that starts off the show. It should be somewhere later on down the line, because the scheduling is kind of wacky. as far as I know. Why would they put this match at the very beginning?
I don't. No, it's not. I'm
You
just
know,
going. I'm just going down the list on the site, and it just says Gunther at one, and I'm just going down. So I highly doubt that they're gonna have the Intercontinental as the opening show. So what is your prediction? Who do you think's gonna win?
but I said it. I'm definitely picking Gunther to win and beat the Miz. To retain his title and also to really push the Intercontinental Championship forward. So
All right, so I'm probably gonna be a dumbass, but I'm just gonna say this though. Gunther has been oppressive, but the Miz, look, this Miz guy, the Miz, basically, he's the founder of the Intercontinental title. He's an eight-time Intercontinental title, and he knows how to win the titles. Like Gunther, yes, he has retained so many times. The Miz has won the Intercontinental many times. But there was, you all know what happened on Monday. It was a fight between Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, and stuff got heated up. And then Gunther yelled at Ludwig Kaiser, and Ludwig Kaiser got even more pissed. Hear me out. I think Imperialism is on that breaking point that like they're gonna break up, and I think Ludwig Kaiser is so mad. I think he's gonna cost Gunther the title at some point, and I think that Gunther is going to put up a fight. Yeah, the Miz is going to put up a fight, but looking at Ludwig Kaiser in this situation where he got screwed in this match, and that his partner Giovanni Vinci is getting all the credit from Gunther, and Gunther got in all his face. I think he just like got. I think he just snapped inside. So this is my prediction. I actually think that Ludwig Kaiser is going to show up and cost Gunther the title. I think this is going to happen. I think the Miz is going to put up a fight, and I think Ludwig Kaiser is going to turn his back on Imperialism. And what you know, Gunther gets distracted. The Miz takes advantage with the um, crushing Skull's finale. And what you know, I'm gonna be a dumbass probably saying this, but I think Gunther's reign will end. I think the Miz will win the Intercontinental Championship. I'm probably on some drugs, but that's my gut feeling. I think at some point there's gonna be interference by Ludwig Kaiser, a guy that just like on Monday Night Raw just got his anger, Gunther yelling him in his face, his partner getting the glory, and it just makes him pissed off. I think it's going to cost Gunther the title. So, right or wrong, I'm probably going to be wrong, but that's my gut feeling. I'm going to take The Miz to defeat Gunther in the biggest upset ever. Like I said, The Miz, I love his attitude. I like his, I love his way that he's confident, and yeah, I think the Miz can actually do it. That's gonna be huge, but I'm gonna take the upset here. I'm taking the Miz over Gunther. It's gonna be shocking, I know, but I'm gonna take the Miz to win, which is a huge risk pick for me. So moving on to the next match, we got Carlito versus Santos Escobar in a singles match. You all know what happened with Rey Mysterio. Santos Escobar turned heel. This is something that me and Canadian has talked about. Putting Rey Mysterio out of action with surgery, and then would you know, him trash talking to LWO and Carlito coming out, and that set up a singles match. So like always, I'm gonna give Canadian Yorker the floor. Who do you think's gonna win this singles match?
uh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because man, Carlito is an interesting character. Um, he could win against Santos Escobar, but I'm really thinking that Santos Escobar has a lot more going for him, and he wants it more. So I'm definitely going with Santos Escobar to beat Carlito, because Carlito is, he Santos is fueled. He's very motivated to put Carlito of out of his misery, and I actually like this. I actually like this the fact that Santos is taking the the heel way because let's face it, him as a face is you know he was good, but the heel is just more. Excuse me, him being a heel is more interesting, and he also he's able to also create his own faction. He doesn't have to go after Bobby Lashley in the Street Profits. He doesn't have to join the Judgment Day. You know, it wouldn't make sense for him to do that. He's his own person. He has his own thing as a heel, and with him creating his own faction, that would be interesting in its own right. So I'm definitely going with Santos over Carlito.
All right, so for me, um, look, Santos Escobar was just out of line when he had that promo saying that he wishes Rey Mysterio never comes back and hope that his leg got an infection and that they had to amputate his leg. Michael Cole says, turn his mic off. He's out of. And Carlito, look, this is just disrespecting Rey Mysterio, and Carlito's not going to let Santos Escobar. And I just feel like with Carlito losing, it's just going to look bad. It's going to look bad for Rey Mysterio and the whole LWO. I think that it's going to be a hell of a match, but Carlito losing, I just don't think that's just the right, I don't think that's the right decision, and that's not going to be good for the atmosphere. Like if he loses, it's just like not good for Rey Mysterio and the LWO, and that's just that. But I think Carlito's going to shut Santos Escobar's up. I think Carlito sneaks a win here, so I'm taking Carlito to defeat Santos Escobar. Um,
The other thing I want to mention is that Santos Escobar does have a reason to be upset with the LWO and Carlito, and I mean Carlito's coming in, Carlito's
yeah.
the new guy,
Carlito's gonna win with the help of LWO. So um, Luquin Wild and Cruz del Toro and Zelina Vega is gonna come out and help Carlito. That's how he's gonna win. That's my prediction. But yeah, I'm taking Carlito to defeat Santos Escobar, and Canadian Yorker's taking Santos Escobar to defeat Carlito. So far, me and Gene are picking two different sides of matches. So I might get the Miz one wrong, but that's just I feel like the Miz can do it, but we're not going to talk about that too much. But so far we're picking against each other, so that's just that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see who's wrong, who's on the drugs, whatever. But moving on to the next match, it's the singles match for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Rhea Ripley just dominant as always, defending the title against Zoey Stark. So this is gonna be an interesting match. And we're probably gonna have the same predictions in this one. So depending on, let's see. But I'm giving you the floor, Canadian Yorkers. We got Rhea Ripley defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Zoey Stark. Who's your prediction?
I haven't really seen much of Zoe Stark other than um, the man, other than who went against uh, the man. So basically, I believe that Rhea Ripley is going to beat her. I'm going with Rhea Ripley still continuing her dominance, and you know that's all I'm saying about that.
All right,
She's been
so
showing she's real dominant. She managed to, yeah, continue it.
all right, I'm picking Zoe Stark, guys. But for me, um, this is gonna be look. Zoe Stark, she's been through a lot, obviously with Trish Stratus and turning heel. Well, I wouldn't say turning heel and attacking Trish Stratus, like just ending their alliance. Um, this is and we talked about this. I think that look, Zoe Stark is great. You know how she manhandled everyone in that battle royal to become the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. That was impressive. Like I said, I didn't really watch a lot of Zoe Stark back in her NXT days, or if she came from AEW. I'm not even sure. But knowing that she had an alliance with Trish Stratus, and that she had enough of Trish and attacked her, I think Trish Stratus might return and cost Zoey Stark this match. Um, I think that Trish Stratus is coming back and costing Zoey Stark. She doesn't Zoey. She's not forgetting what you did to her at in that after that steel cage match with Becky Lynch. So I think Trish Stratus is gonna return and cost Zoey the match. I want to see a feud between Zoey Stark and Trish Stratus. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a close match. I think Zoey Stark will have this match won, but because of interference, Rhea Ripley is going to retain. I'm picking Rhea Ripley to retain the World Heavyweight Championship thanks to interference by Trish Stratus. But obviously, that Rhea Ripley's got to retain for Judgment Day's sake. Like, that's just that. And Rhea Ripley could possibly, I don't know who could stop Rhea Ripley. We might be looking at a female version of Roman Reigns. Like, for now that she's like, it's like, as long as she's on Judgment Day, she's holding on to the World Heavyweight Championship for a really long time. Like, that's just that. Um, but I'm taking Rhea Ripley to defeat Zoey Stark, and that's just that. I think that Trish Stratus is going to return and screw Zoey Stark. Do you think Trish Stratus might return? Yeah.
I definitely think Trish Stratus is coming back. Of course, she's coming back to get her revenge on Zoey Stark. Of course, that's happening. It's going to happen one way or another. Rhea Ripley is going to win unless she actually beats Zoey Stark with a clean win and a clean win. But saying it's clean is going by a margin right there. But let's say she does beat her cleanly, then what else are we going to say? If she actually beats her one-on-one, that would be interesting. And I really think the real female version of the bloodline would be the Damage Control. That would be interesting. I know we have our quips about that, but I think if they do stick together, we could be seeing a dominant, team, female version of the bloodline right there. So.
All right, so first match of Survivor Series, me and Gene had the same prediction. Rhea Ripley will defeat Zoey Stark, so yeah. So the next match is the Women's War Games match. I want to leave the Men's War Games match. It's probably going to be the main event. The Men's War Games match is going to be probably the main event. But up next, we got the Women's War Games match. The War Games is probably the most deadly and most brutal match there is in WWE. 5-on-5. But this Women's War Games is 4-on-4. I guess they didn't do 5-on-5 for the women's this year. But most brutal match, and I want to try to explain to you guys how War Games work, is that one superstar starts for each team, and every, I believe, 5 minutes, I don't know how long, a superstar will come to the ring, and the match doesn't actually start until all the members are fighting in the cage. So it's so brutal because someone can get busted open before everyone comes in, and the match hasn't started. So that's why War Games is the most brutal match there is. And after everyone's in the cage, the match officially starts. The first team to pick up pitfall, submission, or whatever wins the match. So that's basically how War Games work. So the first War Games match is the women's, which is Bianca Belair. One team is Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and a surprise entrance of Becky Lynch versus Damage Control, which is Bayley, Asuka, IYO Sky, and Kairi Sane. This is gonna be unbelievable to see now that and I like how Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, they're just bitter enemies, stuff like that. But I'm giving the floor to Canadian Yorker. Who is your prediction to win this War Games match for the women's side?
I believe we know who the four competitors for Becky Lynch, and we got Becky Lynch, we got Bianca, we got Charlotte, and we got Shotzi. Those are the four competitors right there.
I'll say this before you go. I might say this. I wouldn't be surprised if they do 5-on-5. We still got a Friday Night SmackDown this week. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Aldis turns the decision and make it 5-on-5. But the question is, whose Damage Control fits member it's going to be, because we talked about before, Dakota Kai has a torn ACL injury still. So it'll be to my surprise if they turn it 5-on-5 this Friday. But question is, Bianca's team would need a fifth member, and then Damage Control would be a fifth member. But for now, I think it's just going to be 4-on-4. Continue.
Yes, you're right. It just that's definitely be 4-on-4. Now, there's something that caught my eye, right? When they showed the highlights for the who's going to be on the 4-on-4 match. There's Bayley, Kairi, Sane, Asuka, and IYO Sky. Now, me seeing those four together, there's Bayley with three Japanese wrestlers in that ring. So if they win, Bayley has nowhere to go. Bayley has nowhere to go. Trapped in a ring, she can be taken out by all three of them. That's a that's what we've been talking about right there. They got the win. She's trapped. She's a mouse trapped in a rat in a cage. She got nowhere to go. She got to pay her dues. That's 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 bad news. That's bad news for Bayley right there. I mean, that's the opportunity right there for them to take her out right there. Unless they decide to do it at another time because she's like we said, she's on borrowed time. Um, but suppose they win, they win. Yeah, that's great. Then they turn on her instantly. That's what happens. Um, yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just feeling a little different about it. I'm like, well, what if they win? Well, yeah, let's say they win, but let's say they lose also. They lose, the other girls win. Uh, because I think they're pretty dominant. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair. I mean, those are pretty strong. Those are really strong ladies. Becky Lynch is no slouch. And Shotzi is. Well, I don't know much about Shotzi, but those three right there. You have a pretty dominant team right there. Um, so it's just a little bit. I guess I would say that damage control is at a disadvantage because they don't have they have shorter ladies and we're facing taller ladies trapped in a ring they can't get out. So that's a problem for them. Uh, um, it is when you think about it. You have shorter women facing bigger women, and usually the bigger women win over the shorter women. So unless they actually use teamwork to take them out, which is probably what they're going to do, they're probably going to use strategy and isolate people. Um, but you never know. I mean, we'll have to see how things turn out.
So, what's your
I
prediction?
probably My prediction is that this is kind of a tough one because this is kind of even because the both teams are kind of at a disadvantage. Um, I probably would have to give the edge to uh, and I'd probably have to give the edge to Bianca, Charlotte, and Becky. I'm gonna give the I'm gonna say that. Call me crazy, but I'm gonna give the edge to them because just from my point of view, they 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 have their thing, but damage control does work better together. Um, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna give the edge because trapped in a cage with them, so that's kind of a problem for them. So
All right, for me, I just want to start with saying damage control. Bayley, you might be just screwed. And that's just it.
that's
So that's just it. So last year War Games, you got Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. They were on a team last year together, but Asuka was on, but now they're on damage control. This is basically a rematch from last year, but with different people. So basically, Asuka was on Bianca Belair and Becky's team last year, but now she's on damage control. So basically, Asuka was with them, and then she turned heel and turned on damage control. So as you may know, Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, they have experience and they know how to beat damage control in and War Games. So last year, Bianca Belair and Becky's team beat Damage Control last year. So Becky Lynch, you got two people on that team that knows how to beat Damage Control. They've done it in War Games last year. Now they're facing Damage Control, but you never know. They got new members now, Asuka and Kairi Sane. They can be dangerous. Asuka, she was on the team last year, but with Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, I think, believe Bianca Belair, Mia Young. But Asuka, she doesn't know how to beat Damage Control because she kind of knows how to beat it. Yeah, she. It's interesting that Asuka, she knows how to beat Damage Control, but she doesn't know how to beat Bianca's Blair and then Becky because they were on the same team, not like opposing each other. So, and in terms of Damage Control, that's the time Bayley is going to get kicked out of the group. That's my prediction. I think Bayley is going to cost them. I think Bayley is going to be the one that cost them the match. I think Bayley is the one that's going to be the one that makes the mistake and costs them the match, where Asuka and IYO Sky game up on her and beat her up and kick her out. So I think Damage Control will explode in this match. I just think that Becky Lynch, especially reuniting with her all-time rival and friend Charlotte Flair, it's great to see these two former friends and rivals teaming up again. Obviously, we know how Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch were great friends. And Shotzi, I'm not even sure if Shotzi has ever been in War Games, but Bianca Belair and Becky, they have experience. So I'm just going to say this. Bayley is going to have a hard time teaming up with three Japanese women, and it's going to distract her. She's going to cause a mistake. I'm taking Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch to defeat Damage Control for the second year in a row. So yeah, I'm taking the Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Shotzi and Becky Lynch team to win.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that because they've just been
Unless
going
Charlotte
after them
Flair,
every single.
unless Charlotte Flair has a problem with Becky Lynch just to use her, but I don't see it. I just think Damage Control has all the issues here.
That's well. You said that Kairi Sane
Yeah,
forgave
she forgave.
Bayley, but yeah. So we're gonna see how much she's forgiven Bayley for her actions against her, and of course we know it's coming. It's coming. The payback is coming, and
And all Bailey wants to happen is sooner or later, Carlene Saint's gonna hit her from behind and started bashing her head against the cage, just like Bailey did to her back in 2020.
I mean, it's coming, man. We know it's coming. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen. I mean,
and I said this like
suppose
3 weeks before. Bailey is getting kicked out, and they're probably gonna kick out Dakota Kai as well.
yeah. Suppose now they win,
And
right? Suppose they
someone on Judgment Day is getting kicked out too. I'm guarantee you.
But we haven't gotten to that part yet. We
Yeah,
don't know who's getting kicked
but
out yet.
yeah,
But
let's get to that now. So me and
yeah,
Gene also both predict that Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch will defeat the Damage Control. So moving on to the most likely main event of the pay per view, we got the men's Wars Games match. We got Cody Rhodes, World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton. A returning Randy Orton. We will see a returning Randy Orton at Survivor Series, and they're facing off against the Judgment Day, Damien Priest, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, and the surprise Drew McIntyre. Um, so this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to give the floor to you. You can talk about this match. Who do you think is going to win this men's War Games match?
it's kind of a tough one again because Jey Uso has the experience. He's beaten. It's kind of ironic, really. Jey Uso has beaten Sami Zayn, and who else has he beaten? He's beaten Randy Orton. He's beaten he's beaten a number of the people who he's on the same team with in the War Games match, except for Cody Rhodes. In the Judgment Day, I think they won their last War Games match. Actually, this is their first time faced in a War Games match in a steel cage. So they haven't won it convincingly. So I might have to give the edge to the Cody's to this makes this misfit team here. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso and all these guys facing against the Judgment Day. So I don't see the Judgment Day winning because the Judgment Day doesn't have the experience to win in this type of environment. They've never actually faced it. They actually win by cheating, and that's how they win. And so for them being trapped in a cage, it will be hard for them to pull that off. They have to pull off surprise attacks. Um, and so they can't do that because they have that they have an advantage. Yes, they got the advantage, but at the same time they had a disadvantage, and they can't use that disadvantage because unless that disadvantage is Logan Paul, you know, unless that disadvantage is Logan Paul, who has his people, can come in and slip some sort of weapon in there to win, you know. Um, I think Logan Paul might get himself involved in this match you know, and help the Judgment Day win, maybe. But that might be a possibility, But I think that I'm definitely giving the edge to Seth Rollins. I mean, you have Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins won. Seth Rollins has won. Jey Uso has won. Um, who else? You have Randy Orton, of course. So yeah, got like three guys with experience. I'm definitely going to give the edge to them. I'm giving the edge to them. So
So this is gonna be an interesting men's war games match for me. So there's just mixed emotions. I got a gut feeling, and some I got a gut feeling who I want to pick, but there's like a eager that I want to pick the other team. So this is my thoughts on this. So obviously Jey Uso has a lot of enemies in this match. You got obviously he patched things up with Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn. But the only issue with him is that Randy Orton coming back, and I talked like this before. I said this before that Jey Uso is the reason why Randy Orton was out with the injury. So there might be some intense moments between those two guys, probably disagreeing in the match, and then Randy Orton just probably snapping. I don't know. They're just gonna have a field day with each other, Jey Uso and Randy Orton. We have to see what Randy. We could be seeing we can be seeing a Carlene Sane forgiving Bayley situation right here. We can see like Randy coming back and saying that I forgive you, Jey Uso, but he doesn't actually. Like I said, we could be seeing a Carlene Sane forgiving Bayley situation right here. But we have to see what happens. But Randy Orton's definitely not going to forgive Jey Uso because that was his back. But I feel like the thing is, it was mostly Roman who injured him, but Jey Uso was just following orders, and you know how like, oh, Jey Uso and Jimmy were getting victimized by Roman, so maybe Randy will give Jey Uso a little bit of benefits of a doubt, because people are saying that, oh, Jey Uso was just getting victimized, and it was Roman's fault, that it was Roman who was actually the one that took Randy out of action. But we have to see what happens. But moving on to the Judgment Day, it just seemed even. Like Judgment Day would be like, you all know the rivalry the Judgment Day has with like Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and Cody. Sometimes Judgment Day will beat Cody and Seth in the tag team match or whatever, and then sometimes Seth and Sami will beat them. It's like goes back and forth. So it's pretty much even, and you all know the history between Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, the rivalry that these two men had throughout the years, especially in 2020, Clash of Champions, Hell in the Cell, obviously, and they faced off many times, I believe, and it was a lot. And my gut feeling, and I said this before, I was right about Drew McIntyre winning the War Games match. And I said that I think just Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, Jey Uso and Sami and Orton will be a good team. And I think that I did say that I think Cody Rhodes' team's gonna win, but my gut feeling says Judgment Day. I'll tell you why. Because the Judgment Day, They have been through a lot, and obviously they're close to each other. But the only issue with them is that Drew McIntyre doesn't like them, and Drew McIntyre can cause problems. There's a lot of problems in these teams, to be honest. Um, but this is a tough one for me. But the thing about Randy Orton, my gut, this is the reason why I'm picking this team. So Randy Orton is his first match back. He has back issues, and they're putting him in a War Games match. That's just why. He already had enough damage to his back. And Judgment Day is gonna know that he had a back injury, and they're just gonna target Randy Orton's back. Like holy shit! But is that the way that they want Randy Orton's first match to be? Is to lose his first match back? Like, does WWE want Randy Orton to lose his first match back? Think about it. Like, I just feel like Randy Orton losing his first match back would look bad. And that's just the whole reason why I'm picking. This is who I think is going to win, but Randy Orton's the whole reason why I'm making this decision. So I just feel like it's going to look bad if Randy Orton loses his first match back. So I'm still doing what my heart says. My heart says Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, but my gut feeling is Judgment Day. But because of the Randy Orton situation, I am making my official pick. I'm choosing Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton to defeat the Judgment Day inside the War Games match.
So you're both picking the same teams.
So, like I said, I don't think a Randy Orton loss will look good on his first match back. It's messed up that he has a back injury, yet his first match is like the most brutal match ever.
Yeah, I agree. You can't forget Seth Rollins and his back injury too.
But the thing is
So
like,
that's
but the
another
thing is
factor.
like, I just think that like, I just think like obviously I'm interested in seeing what Randy Orton's I don't even know. The thing is like Cody Rhodes called Randy Orton, right? Cody could have said, "Hey Randy, it's good to hear your voice again. We got a War Games match, right? And we got the team of Seth Rollins and Jey Uso and Sami Zayn and Sami Zayn. And Randy Orton could have said that, ugh, Jey Uso, but what choice can I have? It's like, yeah, I'm in. We never know. That might just happen. I mean, could have
Yeah,
Cody?
this.
Cody most definitely could have just told Randy who was on the team, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
what you
he
know,
could
he
have.
could have heard Jey Uso's name and he still accepted. So maybe there's a slight chance Randy Orton has forgotten about the past and say like we can move on. I think Jey Uso has been accepted to like from Seth Rollins, Cody, but we have to see what happens. So
I mean, I think I like you made the point about this being like a how you saying type of situation where Randy says, "Oh, I could give you Jay," and then okay, owes him, from behind, just like how he's going to get that retribution
I'm
on
just saying,
Bayley.
someone is
So
getting RKO'd after the match. People say that it might be Cody Rhodes. Our friend Joey said that either Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes is getting an RKO from Randy Orton. Randy Orton is gonna like turn
I
heel,
believe
like they're saying like
I,
Randy Orton is gonna turn heel quick and then just RKO Cody.
he's going to turn heel quick and RKO Jay because I'm telling you, Jay has a big target on his back because he left his family. He doesn't have the protection. He's got that big giant X on him. People are coming for him. People are coming for him.
All right,
Like
so
Cody's got his story. Cody has his story, but Jay has a big target.
because my
So
heart says Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton because Randy Orton's first match back is a loss. That doesn't make sense. But my gut feeling says Judgment Day because I just feel like the Cody Rhodes team has so much drama with the Jey Uso, they're gonna get distracted. You know what I mean? I just feel like Judgment Day, they're a family. They're not wrong. They've been through a lot together, and obviously Drew McIntyre has a beef with Jey Uso. You got Drew McIntyre wants revenge on Jay, and you got Randy Orton probably once. That just doesn't look good for the Cody Rhodes team. But I'm just gonna go for the Cody Rhodes to win. But
yeah,
that's why I think the gut feeling is the Judgment Day. You know what? Because Drew McIntyre has wants Jey Uso's ass, and then their family they could win, but it just the Cody Rhodes that just have team has just too many complications. But I just still think they win because of Randy Orton's first match back and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I get Drew McIntyre's feud with Jay. I get it. He has a reason to be angry and a reason to want to put Jay down and get his wins and he has his reasons. I get it. That makes sense. But at the same time, does this seem like a reach from Roman Reigns? Remember, because Roman Reigns and the Bloodline have an agreement, right? So they're allied together. So is this some sort of pull by Roman? Because we know Roman likes to makes his pull behind the strings. Is this some sort of pull by Roman to get Drew McIntyre to join with thinking he's joining with the Judgment Day, when in reality Roman is doing this to get back at Jey Uso again? Because this just seems like another like this just seems like another Roman thing like Roman would do. Roman is doing this behind the scenes. He's doing this. He's communicating this to Paul Heyman, who's telling he's communicating this to Rhea Ripley and the Blood and the Judgment Day. And this is how they're doing this. This is Roman's way of indirectly influencing the Raw.
yeah,
What do you think? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, we all know the history between Drew McIntyre and Roman. I just don't think Roman trusts Drew McIntyre yet because you all know the history between those two men, you know. So I'm not quite sure.
I'm just thinking that because I think Roman could be manipulating the situation. I think Roman is manipulating the situation with the Judgment Day and these guys, and what Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Uh, you know, he's manipulating the situation. That's what I think he's doing.
Yeah. But yeah, we just have to see what. I mean, obviously Roman's not going to show up for another whatever months, but he's probably going to not gonna show up. I don't know what's going to happen, but
He
yeah,
doesn't have to. He doesn't have to show up. He doesn't have to show up because he's like he comes when he comes. He's there to defend this title and he defends his title. But what is he doing in his off time? What is he doing in his downtime? I really think this guy is playing chess and checkers. He's playing chess while we're playing checkers. This man is thinking 3 steps ahead before before people make their first move. He's already planned out something. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think. I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I just think that this is just a way of Roman manipulating the situation here. He's doing his thing to manipulate. He's using because the bloodline is allied with the Judgment Day, and Paul Heyman is a very shrewd person. He's very shrewd. You cannot underestimate Paul Heyman and Roman. They are playing chess, but we are playing checkers. I'm saying that the bloodline is influencing this. They're manipulating this.
yeah,
That's why I just get that feeling. I get this gut feeling, man.
yeah. Well, wow, we had talked like for 43 minutes. But anyways, that's our prediction for Survivor Series War Games. We don't know if there's any more matches to be announced. Like I said, Friday Night SmackDown's coming up. There might be some changes, some more matches. There's rumors that Logan Paul might defend his title against Kevin Owens. We have to see, but yeah. Yeah, Survivor Series War Games is this Saturday in Chicago, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I believe. Like I said, I don't even know the time, but be sure to stream on Peacock. That's a prediction. I'm excited to see the two War Game matches. Out of all the matches, I'm excited to see what happened with the two War Game match. For the women's War Game match, I definitely think that Bayley's going to get kicked out and eventually become a babyface. And we have to see what happens with the men's War Games. I think Randy Orton's probably going to RKO Jay. We have to see. But anyways, I'm your host, Bruno Steele. Thank you for watching this broadcast of our predictions. And we'll be back for our reactions. This is Canadian Yorker. Any last second thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on with that, and it'll be interesting to see how things turn out. I really think the last match, it's just my gut feeling that Roman Reigns is influencing the situation between the bloodline and the opponents. And I just get that good feeling. Every time there's a match with the Blood with Judgment Day, I mean, it feels like there's some sort of manipulation going on. Um, that's what I think is going on, man. But I'd like to see how things turn out this Saturday at 6 o'clock on Peacock. So can't wait to see how things turn out.
All right, so that would do it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy your evening. We'll be back for our Friday Night SmackDown broadcast. I'm not sure if Canada can make it because I actually plan on doing the broadcast right after the Friday Night SmackDown because War Games is Saturday, so we have to see what happens. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy War Games. This is Bruin Steel signing off, and this is Canadian Yorker. And so yeah, we're out. Enjoy your evening, guys.
Take care.